Alright folks, after almost half a month since this thing hit the market, I finally got my hands on the first cup, Luckin Coffee's liquid latte. Is it really taste good? But get what? It sold over 4.42 million cups on the first day alone. Can you believe it? A whopping 100 million RMB in sales just in one day. It's absolutely insane, I'm telling you. Take a look at a crazy thing from the back then. Yeah, it looks like that. That and that. Amazing, right? Now, get this, folks. Rumor has said that Luckin Coffee is teaming up with Harry Potter. Yep, you heard it right. Magic coffee.
Nice.
Of course, the authenticity of this source is yet to be confirmed, but as a die-hard Harry Potter fan, if there's really magic coffee, you bet I will be opening up my wallet for it, right? But why is a cup of coffee like this swapping the coffee world off its feet? What's so special about it? Well, today I'm going to dive into the mysterious world of Luckin Coffee. Hey friends, I'm Sheila Wang and I'm here to bring you the latest and most cutting-edge business and investment information. If you want a deeper investing report, it's a good idea to check my analysis report below. Just click the link in the comment area. Remember to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. And feel free to join the discussion in the comment section. Now let's brainstorm together. Alright, you guys must be wondering what's the deal with the sauce fragrance latte that's got Chinese youngsters going crazy. Well, let me tell you, for 40.99 yuan, you can't get yourself a bottle of Maotai, but for just 19 yuan, which equivalents to $2.6, you can insistently have a cup of coffee, guaranteed to have a splash of Maotai and nuts. Now let's talk about the taste. It really has some multi-flavor with strong boozy notes. An overall experience reminds me of those liquid-filled chocolates. But here's the kicker. The alcohol content doesn't exceed 0.5%. As we all know, Maotai is not an ordinary liquor, folks. It's China's national spirit, known as drink of diplomacy. It takes 5 years to make a single bottle, and for nearly 400 years, it has been distilled using a traditional techniques in a single town in Guizhou province. This clear and potent spirit have even won 14 national awards. So you can find that Luckin is very smart. They know that people aren't just after taste of Maotai in their sauce fragrance latte. It's about having that prestige and class associated with Maotai. And they've got their marketing game on point. Buy 2 cups and you not only got some cool stickers, but also a packaging that screams Maotai style. They've perfectly tapping into the consumer mindset. With the skyrocketing demand for Luckin orders, business at local coffee shops have taken a serious hit. Even Starbucks, their rival, isn't immune to their madness. There are pictures floating around the internet showing that Luckin Coffee orders stretching all the way to Starbucks doorstep. What an awkward moment, right? And this isn't the first time Luckin Coffee marketing strategy has gone rival. In the past 6 months, they launched a 9.9 yuan coffee campaign, pushing the price of coffee below 10 bucks, and leaving most coffee and milk tea brands in the dust. It's just downright crazy, I tell you. But guess what? No price here. Luckin Coffee has seen a massive surge on the stock market. On that day, in the wee hours of the morning, their stock prices on the US pink sheet market shot up by 4%, adding over 3 billion yuan to their market cap. Currently, Luckin Coffee's share are valued at around 30 bucks each, with a total market cap of nearly $9 billion, doubling in just 1 year. A similarly unprofitable coffee priced at 9.9 yuan. Yet, Luckin still managed to bank over $1 billion in profits. That really caught naysayers off guard, especially those who doesn't believe in the coffee business. And let's not forget about Wall Street. Remember back in the June 2020, when Luckin Coffee sadly got delisted from Nasdaq and almost all their top executives were ousted, making way for professional managers? Well, here we are 3 years later, and with one wild successful collaboration, Luckin has once again left American investors dumbfounded. After listing from Nasdaq main board, Luckin's ADRs continues to trade on the US pink share market. And surprisingly, since the listing, Luckin's stock price on the pink share market has soared by a staggering 3,160%, doubling in just the past year alone. Last year, Snow Lake Capital released a research report claiming that Luckin Coffee's revival was a miracle in Chinese business history. Some investors are still hoping that Luckin can make a comeback to the stock exchange. This is a story that has really rocked Wall Street's emotions. Because, seriously, who would have thought that in a country like China, where coffee consumption isn't really a thing, there would be such massive potential in the coffee business? The coffee market in China has huge room for growth. And get this, Luckin Coffee is even starting to export their brand and making money from foreigners. And they've been planning the international expansion way before you could even imagine. As early as 2019, Luckin joined hands with Americana, the largest food manufacturing and sales company in the Middle East, and signed a collaboration agreement. The plan was to set up a joint venture and launch new retail coffee operations in the Middle East, India and Indonesia, countries like this. But then, out of the blue, in 2020, Luckin's financial fraud scandal hit. The chairman Lu was shown the door. At that point, Luckin was on the verge of collapsing. And this setback caused Luckin to miss out on a golden opportunity to go to international. In 2020, a brand called Flash Coffee, maybe you have ever heard or have drank their coffee, was founded in Singapore. And this validated that Chinese coffee model could work overseas because Flash Coffee pretty much copied the Luckin's playbook. They burned through cash in the early stages, rapidly expanded and opened stores, and used a low-price strategy to aggressively grab market share, with coffee prices hovering over 4 to 5 Singapore dollars per cup. Just like Luckin, they developed various trendy coffees. We have our South Fragrance Latte and Coconut Milk Latte, while they have their Lychee Soda Espresso and Coconut Sugar Latte. Even the ordering process is similar, with a focus on grab and go and ordering through an application. All of this prove that the tricks that Chinese internet has rolled out are effective. No doubt about it. Flash Coffee has become a hot coffee brand in Singapore and has even expanded to other Southeast Asia countries. It's very popular in Indonesia. In just 5 months, from March to August this year, Luckin has already expanded to 12 stores in Singapore. So Singapore's friends, have you ever drank the Luckin Coffee? So overall, Luckin's rapid growth explains why their stock price has been soaring in recent years. So here I'd like to see if Luckin Coffee is somewhat a young and fast-growing kid on the block, then Starbucks, the OG coffee pioneer, is likely the middle-aged dude who's been around the block a few times. But even Starbucks can't deny the pressure they were feeling from the competition. The financial reports are in, and while Luckin's net revenue in the second quarter this year skyrocketed by a whopping 88%, Starbucks China brought in a cool 4.9 billion yuan. That's around $822 million for my fellow Americans, with a 51% year-over-year growth. Not too shabby, but still a bit behind Luckin's number. And when it comes to another crucial metric, the battle is fierce. In the second quarter this year, Luckin boasted a net profit of 999 million yuan and operating profit margin of 80.9%, reaching an all-time high. Their self-operated stores even hit a 29.1% operating profit margin. On the other hand, Starbucks GEP operating profit margin was 17.3%. Hold up, Starbucks operating profit margin isn't solely based on the Chinese market. It's calculated for their overall operation. After making promises to increase employee wages and improve their skills, Starbucks profit margin took a hit. But all things considered, Luckin's earning power shouldn't be underestimated when compared to Starbucks' global market presence. And now let's talk about store numbers. My friend, Luckin has sprinted far ahead of Starbucks in the race. After surpassing Starbucks store count at the end of 2021, Luckin has continued its wide expansion. They opened a whopping 1,485 new stores in the second quarter, bringing their total count to whopping 10,836 stores. The 7,188 self-operated stores and 3,648 joint venture stores. Luckin has officially become the first coffee chain in China with over 10,000 stores, baby. As for Starbucks China, they added 237 new stores in the same period. By the end of the quarter, Starbucks China has a staggering 6,480 stores operating in 250 cities. It's obvious that Starbucks has a more conservative pace when it comes to store openings. Their store closure rate is also lower than Luckin's. For example, in the past 3 months, Starbucks closed over 6 stores, while Luckin shut down a whopping 109 stores. Starbucks store change rate was 0.9%, while Luckin's was only 5.6%. So have you remembered what I said? Luckin is just like a passionate young guy, but Starbucks just like conservative middle-aged guy. Who will win the coffee game? I have no idea, but what I know is in the past, the big international players like Nestle and Starbucks brought coffee into China and shaped the commercial landscape with instant coffee and chain stores. But now we've got the likes of Luckin Coffee leading the charge, catering to Chinese consumers with innovative products that suit their taste buds, lower prices, and a flexible expansion strategy. They're swiftly penetrating the market, reaching a wider range of consumers, and spreading the coffee love to the masses. It's a whole new board game, folks. So now we're talking about the secret to success here, and when it comes to Luckin's leap in performance, a big part of it is thanks to their single store model and low price strategy. Firstly, let's compare the business mode to Starbucks. Starbucks is known for its third space concept, really rocking larger stores and focusing on store design and experience, especially their music. On the other hand, Luckin, born from an internet era, is all about delivery and keeps their stores smaller with fewer employees. And it's not just the Luckin. There are plenty of local coffee chains in China like Mana and Coco Coffee following this same model. But here's the thing, in an economic downturn, the problem with the third space model is that maintaining those big stores costs a lot, right? Plus, when you ignore the in-store experience, Starbucks doesn't really have an advantage over Luckin when it comes to the prices. Starbucks' average price per consumer hangs around 40 yuan, while Luckin's is below 20 yuan. Now, Starbucks is finally responding to the price war issue. The CEO of Starbucks China said that we welcome competition because it actually expands the coffee market and accelerates the popularization of coffee consumption. Different brands bring different value proposition and consumer scenarios. She emphasized that Starbucks China will increase investment, innovate their products, enhance the store experience, go digital, and focus on talent development, seizing the endless opportunities in the future Chinese market. According to her, competition hasn't had a noticeable impact on Starbucks' performance in the third quarter. She emphasized that Starbucks is playing the long game. For Starbucks, their biggest competitive edge lies in systematic advantages, being a big company. This includes developing omni-channel business outside the search space, like Starbucks delivers, Coffee Express, and e-commerce, among others. They also have location-specific store strategies, a well-refined process system built over many years, and a solid supply chain foundation. Let's not forget their biggest hidden asset in their brand itself. Over the past years, Starbucks has accumulated a wealth of experience, giving them an advantage when the Chinese market takes a downturn. Starbucks still has to keep up the fight against Luckin as they continue to go hand to hand. Lastly, remember that analogy I made? Luckin, the useful coffee shop, and Starbucks, the middle-aged man. Each age group has its own challenges and destiny. We, as people of this era, are incredibly fortunate to witness the growth and development of many outstanding companies, investing our hard-earned money in them, reflecting on that, what we are really investing in? Well, we are investing in the fate of this era, my friends.